Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tayla and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this blue faux fox eye look. I'm really happy with the way it came out and I hope you guys like the look and enjoy the video too. Starting off with the base makeup, I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer to fill in my larger pores around my T-zone. For me, this is a really good pore filling primer since it leans on the more hydrating side rather than matte, but it can be a bit oily if you use too much, so be careful. Next, I'm going to prime again with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Primer. For foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in 130 True Beige. Honestly, this is probably my favourite foundation as it has a very natural finish and has great coverage. I actually prefer using cushion foundation sponges rather than a brush, but mine's a bit gross right now since I forgot to wash it. You know, I should probably go and wash that. To conceal, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 05 Light and applying it onto the areas where my blemishes are peeking through. Next, I'm using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturiser in 6W Light. This shade is actually a little too dark for me, which I like as it gives me just the slightest tan, which is definitely what I need as these days I barely see the sun. I'm putting this around the perimeter of my face and blending it over where I put the concealer and also down my neck. To set the face, I'm using the Jeffree Star Magic Star Setting Powder in Translucent. I'm stamping and sweeping the powder all over my face, starting from my nose out towards my hairline. To contour my face, I'm using the M.A.C Studio Fix Sculpt and Shape Contour Palette in Light. For this look, I'm only going to be using 3 of the shades in the palette, which are the 2 lightest powders and the contour shade underneath the lightest shade. I'm using the contour shade, stippling it onto my cheeks where I want to add dimension to my face. I'm also bringing it down my neck and across my jawline. Using the same shade, I'm contouring the tip of my nose as that's the main area that I want to adjust. I'm also contouring my eyelids, but I went a little too heavy with the contour, so I lightened it up with the middle shade in the M.A.C palette. For brows, I'm using the Maybelline Brow Satin Brow Pencil and Powder in Black Brown. I'm pretty much just filling in my brows and creating a bit more of a structured shape. I'm then using the Innisfree Brow Mascara in Espresso Brown to fluff out my brows. the eyes, I'm going to be using the Colourpop X Bretman Rock Wet Palette, and I'm only going to be using these 5 shades for this entire look. First, dipping into Skinny Legend, I'm going to be putting this shade all over my lid and blending it out upwards to the tail of my brow and bringing it into my inner corner. Next, on the same brush, I'm dipping into Beige and mainly concentrating the pigment into my outer crease and bringing it up to my brows to create a wing effect. I'm then going back into Skinny Legend to blend the 2 shades together a bit more. I don't know why, but I wanted more pigment from Skinny Legend on my lid, even though it essentially is the same color as my skin. But I went in with a flat brush and stamped it all over my inner portion of my lid. Using the M.A.C palette and the same flat brush, I'm placing the lightest shade right under my brow and used it to clean up the edge of the wing. Going back into Skinny Legend, I'm using a fat pencil brush to smoke out the shade all over my lower lash line. On the same brush, I'm using Beige to smoke out the outer portion of my lower lash line and connecting my lower lash line to the wing. Using a flat-tipped brush, I'm dipping into Finished, placing it in my inner corner, following my upper lash line diagonally downwards. Start off with a small amount and slowly build it up. I also slightly blended it out onto my lower lash line and onto my lid. Okay, so imagine from where you ended the blue in the inner corner that there is a curve that goes over the lid via your crease. Connecting it to where your crease ends, that's where you want to stamp on Finished in a diagonally upward slant. Then you want to continue this line upwards towards the tail of your brow or where the wing that you created with the shadow meets your brow. I just kept on adding Finished to this area until I was happy with the pigment. I also wet my brush with some setting spray so I could pack on some more pigment, but it really didn't do much. I then used the M.A.C palette to clean up the wing again. Next, using a small eyeliner brush, I'm dipping into I'm Chillin' and slowly blending it into where I put Finished, in my inner corner, and also taking it halfway up the wing part of the blue. I'm then blending Finished into the other shade. Next, I'm creating an angle with Finished that starts at the end of the blue wing and then goes under the brow. I'm then smudging the shade I'm Chillin' on the inner portion of my lower lash line, also using Finished to blend it into the inner corner. Still using that small eyeliner brush, I'm dipping into the shade Thickums and placing it over I'm Chillin' on my lower lash line using small patting motions. Then going back in with Beige, I'm blending it into I'm Chillin' at the middle of my lower lash line. To line my upper lash line, I'm using the Innisfree Skinny Micro Liner in 05 Dark Night to tight line my upper lashes and create a small wing pointing upwards. I'm then using the Maybelline Tattoo Liner eyeliner in 910 Bold Brown to line the outer portion of my lower lash line. For mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Paradise Waterproof Mascara in black, layering it onto my upper lashes and also putting some on my lower lashes. For blush, I'm using the Flower Beauty Flower Pot in Sweet Pea, building it up all over my cheekbones and bringing it up towards the eye. I am using a lot of blush because I felt like it kind of suited it. But honestly, I'm just an extreme blush lover, so you can probably just tone it down a little bit if you want to. I'm using the middle light shade in the M.A.C palette to blend the blush out a bit as I didn't want too much of it in the center of my face. For lips, I'm using the Flower Beauty Petal Pout Lip Liner in Nude, and I'm overlining my bottom lip and just tracing my upper lip. I then fill my lips in with the lip liner. In the inner portion of my lip, I'm using the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in A.T. Run the World and blending it into the lip liner to create a gradient. Using the Revlon Kiss Plumping Lip Cream in 510 Nude Honey, I'm putting it all over my lips. I wanted to look a little bit more bronzed, so I'm using the Morphe Bronzer in Celebutant. I'm mixing the two shades and just lightly brushing it over the perimeter of my face. Going back into the wet palette, I'm packing on more of the shade Finished and emphasizing the point and bringing it further inwards, sticking close to my brow. I'm then using Skinny Legend to blend the ending portion of Finished into the shadows on the lid. I'm then making the point at the inner corner just a little bit bigger. And that's it. That's all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to go down and hit that subscribe button, and also hit that like button while you're down there. Also go check me out on Instagram at Tayla. And I hope to see you guys very soon and that you all stay safe and healthy. Bye guys, have a good one. Meow.